this is Dr. Carol Francis. You can contact me at 310-543-1824. This segment is all about being able to discuss a very powerful transition that soldiers have to make coming back to their families, and equally complicated, the powerful transition of families and communities in receiving their soldiers. Now, understandably, we all think that there should be a Hollywood ending to this. After all, the soldiers are back, many whole and some not so whole. I thank you first for your sacrifice on behalf of all of us that are living a much more comfortable life, because you took a long stretch of your life to not live so comfortably. I also want to thank all the families, because after all, you were without your soldier. Moreover, you have lived day and night with the panic, the fear that something could happen to your soldier, without being able to be in touch to know for sure, looking for every reassurance, and also being afraid of getting some bad information. And now your soldiers come back to you. And the hope is that everyone will be so glad, so warm, so comfortable with each other, that they will be able to reunite this new life and return to some semblance of normalcy. However, a very large percentage of the time, since everybody has changed in the formula of the relationships, those natural, simple transitions are not realistically what takes place. So with all the hope, all the optimism, all the tools available for both your soldiers and for you, the family, the community, let's see if possibly we might be able to help you be able to reunite your families, to reintegrate your families, so that the new relationships that will be formed, because after all, the soldiers are different, they're changed, and you, the family, the community, you've changed as well. And the relationship that you're going to create now, while it will have the backdrop of all the memories and experiences and love you've had in the past there, nonetheless you have to create an entirely new relationship. All the rhythms, all the schedules, all the routines that the families have established without their soldier around somehow still need to stay intact, because after all, that's what was paying the bills, raising the children, running the family, occupying time. All of the changes that the soldiers have gone through because of what they have been experiencing, what they have done, how you've grown yourself as an individual, as a soldier, you've changed as well. Your perspectives on life is not the same. You've experienced, seen, and done things that you didn't do prior to your deployment. Your relationship now has to be built on the new you, the new experiences, and the way you're going to create this new life in the United States. Everybody will go through some sort of cultural shock, or transitional cultural shock, or retroactive cultural shock. All of you may have to deal with some form of trauma, whether it's post-traumatic stress disorder associated to horrible things experienced, done, and witnessed in a war zone or in a battlefield, or the chronic state of fear and anxiety you've had to endure worrying about your soldier. That's another type of post-traumatic stress disorder. Both types imprint inside the brain, imprint inside your physiology, the fact that you've had to live with short-term, long-term types of stress and trauma. And those type of stress and trauma create responses inside of you that make other sorts of emotional responses more difficult. So both groups are overcoming some type of trauma, which needs to be respected. Both groups, the soldiers and their family, have come through a series of experiences that will leave them very different. Both groups want to create a reintegration, a new and solid, pleasant relationship that can benefit everybody. In order to be able to support this reintegration, which the soldiers deserve, which the families of the soldiers deserve, I have authored a book and published it. It is called The Soldier's Return Home, Reintegrating into a Loving Family. The book is there to try to help you define what's been going on with you, to make you feel like you're not alone, to give you some remedies, some processes, some steps to take that will help you through the process of transitioning from one way of living, one way of being, one way of experiencing the world, into this new way of experiencing your life together as a family. Children, too, have developed a lot when the soldiers are gone, and they have to have a new relationship with their father or mother based on the fact that they've had a whole life without that father or mother being there day after day after day. Their routine generally can't be completely changed. They're grooved into a pattern and a way of doing things that the soldier needs to come and work their way into. In addition, soldiers coming from a situation where they've had such tight camaraderie with individuals that have shared really complex experiences that are hard to share will feel that camaraderie with soldiers and feel lost without that type of camaraderie because they have to rebuild a whole new set of current experiences and and ways of being with their family that isn't quite as familiar because it hasn't been cultivated in the same way that this camaraderie with other soldiers in really difficult situations has developed. Moreover, a soldier is now looking for meaning and purpose in life that's very different than the meaning and purpose they found as a soldier. For some soldiers, they don't want anything to do with their memories and experiences of what they went through. But nonetheless, those memories and experiences are part of your life and existence. And now you have to figure out how to bring the soldier you into this new life as a civilian you and not live in denial of any of it, but allow plenty of space to create the new you, the more informed you, and the person who's had maybe experiences that are just too horrific to remember. All of these processes are complex, but all of these can be remedied. For hundreds of years, soldiers have left their families. For thousands of years, soldiers have left their families. And for thousands of years, they've returned to their family. This is not a new issue that faces us, but it is an issue that we as Americans need to support our families and our soldiers in. So please allow me to do that as well. Contact me at 310-543-1824. Let's see how I can get this book to you. Secondly, you can always check out my websites, drcarolfrancis.com, relationshipsuccessnow.com, and the drcarolfrancisshow.com. Each of these would be a way in which I could learn about you, and you might receive this book as a way of me saying thank you, and I hope this is a way I can help. This is Dr. Carol Francis. Take care. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.